So let's have another look at this screen and look at all the metrics that we've got on there and all the red and all the flashing and everything that's going on. I would describe this wallboard as a ball breaker. Now, it really is a ball breaker. It's a whip. And in my experience, agents don't respond well to this type of measurement. In fact, if they see anything that suggests achieving the goals you have set them is not possible, they will switch off. So if we move away from displaying metrics, which all mean the same thing, and we use 2 or maybe 3 call handling metrics instead of 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10, we suddenly free up 70% of the TV real estate, and now we have the opportunity to pass more information to agents. As an example, this wallboard doesn't inform agents of expected increases in call volumes, of the reasons behind those call volumes, or what they should tell their customers. If you take the recent troubles that hit a certain large American bank in the US, they knew, because of the the findings and the rules within the financial authorities over there, that they were going to get an increase of calls. Now, they could have taken all of their agents into a room and told them what to say and what was going to happen, and they may well have done that, but that's very time consuming. And a lot of those agents would have forgotten what was said. So with something like the Optymyse product, you can put a notice board up there and you can remind your agents what's happening. A product's gone out of stock, you've had a service failure somewhere, or some rule or procedure has changed, and you can remind those agents. And you can be sure that everybody sees that. So the digital notice boards we're gonna get to in a moment, and what Steph's going to do is she's gonna free up some space by taking some of those metrics away, and she's going to show us how to place a digital notice board onto the Optymyse screen. Okay, so let's have a look now at the metrics, and let's get rid of some of those that we don't need, and we're going to leave 3 behind, which I think is more than enough. Steph, if you could just go through the removal of the metrics that basically say the same thing and don't really add any value, that's great, and then we'll have a look at how easy or how difficult that is.
Okay. Okay, so it's very simple to delete an element. You simply click on it and click the trash can here. And also by clicking your left key on your keyboard, you can delete multiple elements at once, which is what I'll do now to get rid of the elements on here that we don't want. And then we can simply just click and drag these elements into position.
Okay, excellent. So now we've got a lot more space, but we haven't lost the ability to keep the agents aware and up to speed with what's going on from a call handling perspective. Now, we wouldn't use this type of layout with the blue background and the simple box like that. We'd make it look a bit more professional, for want of a better word, and a little bit more modern. But for the purpose of this call, we're not going to spend a lot of time on design. We're just going to look at what we can use and how we can utilize that screen space. So we've got a lot of screen space available now, but we can already tell the agents how well they're doing on SLA, and to be honest, SLA is all they need. But very few contact centers will just use SLA. They want something else to back that up. So they can see how well they're performing on answering calls within your corporate standard. They can see how many agents are available, and they can also see how many calls are waiting. Okay, so that's all we need from a call handling perspective. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hand back to Steph, and she's going to place a notice board on the screen, and then I'm going to talk a little bit more about the science behind giving agents information via notice boards on the wallboards. Over to you, Steph.
Okay, to make the notice board, I'm going to use our multi-page element, which creates movement on the screen and allows you to make the most of your screen real estate. Now the images I'm going to use on here contain pre-populated messages, but you can create editable messages by using the label element and putting that on top of images. Let me just make this multi-page the correct size. Okay, so that small area that I drew with the multi-page element is now opened up into a separate screen. So I'm just going to put our first image on here that I uploaded into the library.
Looks like Steph might be struggling with her internet.
Wait for the images to load. There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, so there's our first message, and as I say, it's pre-populated with a message here just for quickness for this demonstration, but you can use the label element to add your own messages on there, like I said. And in the next version of the software, you're going to be able to have multi-line labels, which means you'll be able to fit messages in much better. You'll be able to put a label box on there, and the text will automatically fit into that box. We'll just save this. Now I'm going to duplicate this page and put the second message on. And this is really useful so you can set things up really, really quickly. Saves a lot of time.
Those of you who've already got Optymyse, we're recording this, so we'll send this to you so you can go through this step by step and get a feel for how the notice board works.
Okay, and here's our second message. Save that. and then just duplicate this again to create our third message. And what you should see when this is complete is each message will slide in and out after 10 seconds. Find a third message now. You should see that change after 10 seconds.
So, Steph, what I'd like to do now is to help people understand the whole branding side of things, is if you could just run through how to change the logo and a background image. I'll talk about our branding policy. So if you could pull the screen designer up again and just run through that, that'd be great.
Sure.
So while Steph's doing that, one of the things that I decided quite a few years ago was that we wouldn't brand our product from a customer perspective. Obviously we brand it on our YouTube channel, we brand our product on our website. But when you purchase Optymyse, we don't leave a single pixel that isn't under your control. So we give you complete control to brand those screens with all of your colors, all of your key messages and your branding. And I urge you to make the most of that because very few manufacturers do that. You'll always see in the corner of the screen, you know, powered by or, you know, produced by or whatever, and a logo of a supplier. We don't do that. And that applies to screens that you design for TVs, screens that you design for desktop, and for mobile devices. There will be no Optymyse branding on there. So, you know, make the most of it, use your own branding, make it consistent across all of those endpoints, because I feel that's really, really important for your agents to feel connected to your brand. So you can see Steph's just moving things around there, and she set a background, and now she's going to pop a logo in there, just so we can pull in a bit of branding so you can see how easy it is to achieve that.
Okay.
Now branding's pretty important with, sorry Steph, carry on.
No, I was just going to say regarding branding, which I'll just show you now if I bring a picture up, that you have the option within, when you're setting a background or a picture, something like that, you have within the colours this little box here to allow you to add a hexadecimal code. And what that is, it allows you to, I mean, normally it would be your designers that do your branding that would know that code. And you can enter the code in there, and basically what that means is that the colour will be exactly your branded colour for your company, so you can make sure it all matches, everything matches together.
Your marketing department will absolutely love that. No, that's all right. But that's a very good point. You know, you can get marketing involved with this, and you should get marketing involved with this, and tell them, you know, that you've got however many 50-inch screens up in your contact center, and you want to represent the brand. Make sure you get the latest logo and the right colors, because young people really do respond to branding. It's really, really important to them. So your younger agents will feel more connected, even on a subconscious level. If you've got a contact center full of screens that all have the same branding, and if you've got departments that look after different products, you know, you can create a product branded screen. So we've got some customers that sell very different brands under one roof, and they have one screen is branded with one product, and the next screen in the, you know, on the other side of the building looks completely different. But the branding is appropriate to those agents because it links them to the products that they're talking to customers about. So branding is really, really key. And the other thing, I've got a note here to say that when people visit your contact center, both people who are looking to work for you and people who may be thinking about doing business with you, the branding really helps. Anything that's on those screens should be, slick and high definition and make you guys look good. Now, what Steph's done there, she loaded our old logo, and she's just to show you how easy it is to change. She's taken that one out, and now she's loaded our new logo. So we're going to see that screen in a second. So let's wait for that to load up so we can have a look, because I do like the new logo, so I like to see it. There we go. Nice. So you can see the screen starting to look more professional already, and we haven't really spent a lot of time on it. I mean, Steph's probably only spent 10 or 15 minutes playing around with that. So we're coming to the end of the call now, and I really hope that this will encourage you to have not only a proper look at your metrics and work out what is driving agent performance and what you might feel is damaging morale, and get you thinking about how you can use these visuals to improve customer engagement.